Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another Kerbal Space Program. I'm WiliestSoup. I am excited to be here. This is episode 5, and just before I left, with our little ScanSat in space, I also checked to see if there was another contract, and we picked up another contract. But before we actually do the Kerbal one, we need to finish the MUN. And so that's going to be nice because we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to get that MUN encounter contract completed as well as the ScanSat contract. So let's go to the ScanSat MUN and let's fly that baby. We actually need to get that thing into a polarized orbit. So it's actually pretty important that we get that taken care of ASAP. So if I over here, and I should be able to use just a little bit. There we go. As it slowly changes over to 90 degrees. Interestingly enough, I've actually found that when I you know, because I'm still a little new to this game. I mean, quote unquote new, if you guys want to get that technical with it. But I found that if you do it too fast, bad things happen. So that's the reason why I'm using the throttle super slow, so that way I can get a better reading. And there, that's pretty good. I'll take it. Off by 0.09, but that's pretty dang good. Although I do consider myself to be an engineer, so you know, I'm okay with being off by a fraction of a bit. There we go. Warp a little bit, add time, add maneuver. Let's get this baby circularized. Where are we at as far as altitude? That's actually pretty good. Let's see here. Where are you and where are you? You could be a little bit higher. Ooh, I want that. What that? Perfect. Let's do that. Well, guys, I'm excited to be here. Like I said earlier, it's been kind of enjoyable for me. I love playing Kerbal Space Program, as I have mentioned many a times before. That Kerbal Space Program is by far easily one of my favorite video games of all time. But you guys don't need to hear me say that again for the 1000th time. But I will say this. I don't know if you guys have heard, you guys may have seen, I will try to find a link in the description, or find a link and put it in the description below, that Kerbal Space Program is going to be releasing a new update, but it also is going to be a paid, what is it called, expansion pack, I guess you could say. I'm not used to these new fandangled names and such, but it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be real missions, and it's going to give you a lot more parts, a lot more abilities. It's going to be really cool. I'm actually really quite excited for it. So hopefully you guys are too. Let's get her done. Come on. Here we go. And so one thing that I actually am really excited for is the real missions aspect. I like the idea of doing that, and it just sounds like a lot of fun. But like I said in the last episode, I really am kind of looking forward to trying to do something of my own with new missions and such. So that way I can actually learn about more stuff, because, like, you know, most of the stuff that I know is about the Apollo, Mercury, and Gemini missions. I don't really know hardly anything about any of the other missions, honestly. And that sucks, because I want to know more, I want to understand more, and I want to be able to play games with that. I want to be able to do stuff with that. So I am planning on doing that. If you guys are like, nope, that's a terrible idea, then you guys should probably tell me. So let's see, are we scanning pretty well? Yes, we are. Ooh, got a pretty good field of view too. Nice. Let's see if we can't get it going, so that way we can get that contract pretty quick. And there we go. We should have it. Yay, we do. $129,000. Y'all, we could buy a house with that. That's amazing. Money, money, money. Money! Also, I realized I didn't finish that contract. Oh no! We're flooded! Somebody call for help! You know, could you imagine? That would be awful. So we need to go do a new contract. Hopefully me going into the VAB and coming back out will actually fix that, but you never know. And leave. Did it fix it? I doubt it. But I'm a doubter. That's what my wife tells me. Holy crap, it fixed it. Damn it. Why is it always does it when I don't want it to, but it does it when I want it doesn't do it when I want it to? Bastards. Okay, what contracts we got? Mun flyby, Kerbal powered landing, manned orbit for 72 hours. We could do the manned orbit one for pretty easy. And when I say pretty easy, I mean pretty cheap. 225. Ugh, we're so close. I just want to be able to build some stuff, guys. Come on. Let's do the manned orbit for 72 hours. And that will be relatively easy to pull off. Even though it's not 72 hours for us, it's like 11 days for Kerbal. So, what crafts do we have built? We have to orbit 2. What do we got here? Will this do the trick? I think it will. I think it'll do the trick just nicely. Do we have anything as far as we do? Perfect. Because they ain't gonna live out in space for 72 hours with not much food. So let's give them some food. And let's send up Bob, because Bob can give us more science. And that's what we want. Science for everyone. Science, science, science. Alright, let's... Well, actually, you know what? Let's go check to see if we can unlock anything first. Maybe make my job just a teensy bit easier. But hey, I digress. Do we have any science? Do I have enough? No, damn it. So let's launch. Anyways, so one thing that I was thinking of doing also with this series was trying to learn craft has too many parts. Well, we're gonna have to lose the parachutes. There goes money. Oh crap, there goes a lot of money. Dang it. You better be happy, Bob. You better be happy. Balls. It's really frustrating. Also, I absolutely hate doing the Kerbal powered landing. That's hard as hell for me. But that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So I figured I would shut up and actually start fast forwarding so that way you guys could actually see a little bit more. Mainly because, I don't know, you guys see me get into space before, so it's nothing new. But anyways, yeah, one thing that I actually hate is I could do manual landings when it comes to, you know, the moon, or the mun, I mean, I should say, or, you know, Minmus. Minmus is the easiest damn place to land ever. But when it comes to Kerbal, like, damn, that is insanely difficult for me. I just cannot figure out how to do it, at least easily. I always end up doing too much, too little, slamming into the ground. It's just one of those things that gives you a whole lot of respect. And I guess respect is the only word that I can come up with to, you know, Neil Armstrong and all of those guys back when this space program was first starting out. Nobody knew really anything, how to do anything. And so they created this little jig, this craft that they could practice on, where Neil Armstrong would sit in and he would fly around using rockets and such and little aircrafts to be able to get himself into space. It was kind of remarkable, or to get him into space. Are you kidding me? No, to land, so that way he could practice to land the Eagle is what it's called, I guess. So the moon lander, I guess. But yeah, it was just really remarkable how easily he was able to master that. But of course, you got to give credit where credit's due. Neil Armstrong is pretty impressive himself, period. So I don't know, I've just always found that kind of stuff absolutely amazing. But yeah, one thing that I find absolutely really funny is here you can tell that I'm like, well, this is taking forever. So I started boosting myself up to around 250 kilometers to where I could actually start fast forwarding a little bit faster. And then I realized something that, well, you know, I have that contract to do the low scan of Kerbal, and in the time that it might take for me to finish this mission, I might be able to actually finish the contract. So let's go back to that. Oh, looks like we got ourselves a moho alarm up. We're not even remotely close to go there yet, so let's get rid of that and let's continue warping. Actually, you know what? I just had a thought. We could go back to the Space Center and we could actually put a satellite in orbit while we're waiting for that to finish. Because we still got a couple days that we could do that. Oh no! Everything's really flooded now. It's a terrible thing. Do we got any new contracts? Nope. Nope, we don't. There we go. Man, that took a while for me to find it. So, let's see if we can't get another satellite into space. Open. What in the world? For real? Ah, there we go. Yeah, that should be perfect. Let's launch you. And let's change you to Kerbal, because why not? Because we want to know where it is exactly. Overwrite and check our staging. Don't want that. Do not want that. So we maybe right there. Okay. And let's save. Let's launch. Let's get this thing into space. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Back when I was a kid, I don't know if you guys ever had satellite TV or any sort of TV like that, public TV. But back when I was a kid, my parents first got satellite TV, and I was like 11, 12 years old. It was the coolest thing ever. Mainly because for years I was using my little TV. I saved up all my money during school, and I would go and do little chores for my mom and do little things that I needed to do, so that way I could buy myself a little 13-inch TV. This thing was tiny, but it cost me $50, and I got it. It was mine, and it had an antenna system, and I could actually watch TV on it. Anyways, my parents got satellite, and where I live, satellite going out was not an uncommon problem. But when the satellite would go out, it wasn't because of any problems with the satellites itself. It had to do with the fact that sometimes the network wasn't connecting correctly, except for NASA. So the NASA channel, which is free, would connect all of the time, and I would watch the NASA channel, and that was just amazing. I remember when they sent, I can't remember what it is called now, but I remember when they sent the Mars rovers. I remember when they sent the satellite into the sun's orbit to actually observe sunspots and do more observations of the cycle of the sun. Did you guys know that the sun has a cycle just like Earth, where it actually every 11 years it completes what's called a I can't remember, like a solar cycle, I think is what it is called. But it it actually has a cycle where there's less sunspots, more sunspots, more sun flares, less sun flares, and it's really quite remarkable. So I love learning about that kind of stuff, and maybe you guys did too. So let's see if we can't finish this up nicely. And that looks like we're good. We got ourselves in space nicely. Okay. So we will let that run, and while we're out here, let's transition over to Bob and see how far he's gotten. And 3 days, so Where are we at on that? 8 days left. Okay, let's get cracking. Because of the NASA channel, that also was the reason why I learned, like, you know, that every year Voyager gets just ever so tiny bit closer to us because of the rotation of the Earth, and how Voyager is actually kind of orbiting the sun. It's not really orbiting the sun because it's obviously leaving the solar system, but it's actually ever so slowly. Every year we get just a tiny bit closer to it. It's really hard to explain. You guys will have to look up a video on YouTube and talk about look up Voyager 1 getting closer to Earth, and it kind of explains it a little bit better. But that actually was really kind of cool too, because I learned about that also from the NASA channel. There was a lot of times that it was super boring, but other than that though, it was really kind of cool. They had a bunch of cool informative stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Maybe you guys could watch the NASA channel today. And we'll be getting the contract here in a couple of seconds. And there we go. We got it. Orbited for 72 hours. Man, that must have been awful. Especially considering that to be orbiting that long, you're up in space for at least 11 days in Kerbal's time, which that would just, you know, in that little capsule would be just terrible. That would be awful. But let's deorbit. Let's get back home. Let's get home. And boop. There we go. Just like that. And hopefully... Oh. And hopefully, because we're going down like that, yeah, we'll come in on the light side. Woo! I like when a plan works out. Well, guys, I believe this is going to be the end of the episode. I really appreciate you guys coming out and checking this out. We got a lot done today. We got a ScanSat on the Mun. We got a ScanSat over Kerbal. We orbited Kerbal for 72 hours, and we got a lot of funds. And that's exciting, considering the fact that we needed those. We need to upgrade the vehicle assembly building. We need to upgrade mission control so that way we can get better contracts. And we just need to do a lot of good upgrades for the Space Center itself, which that'll be fantastic. And so, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming out. A little message I kind of wanted to give you guys today was the fact that be grateful. You know, sometimes you got hard things in your life. We all do. And we all have problems. We all have issues. We all encounter things that are just, you know, stuff that happens to the best of us, and sometimes you just got to be grateful. Got to look for the good things, got to look for the positive, and that is more important than anything, and I can promise you that. But if you're grateful and you start looking for the good, you'll find more of it, and you'll be a little bit happier because of it. And so thank you guys for coming out. If you guys like this video, hit the like button down below. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, or ideas, please comment. I love hearing from y'all. And then last but not least, if you guys have anyone that might like this, or you're not subscribed, please share it and subscribe. It helps me out, helps my channel out, and helps also maybe somebody might hear something or see something good that they might enjoy and maybe have just a little bit of a better day because of it. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming out, and I will see you guys on the next episode, which will be on Friday. So until then, I will see you guys. Okay, guys, bye.